sisters, brothers, siblings in the Episcopal Church in Northern Indiana. Grace and peace be with you in Jesus, the risen Christ. Hello, friends. Greetings from Lambeth again. We're just concluding our day and spent today focused on the theme of discipleship. And it's a joy to be able to have met Bishop Jenny again. We've known each other since we were both early bishops, baby bishops. And she was serving as a suffragan in Toronto. And Bishop Jenny, can you tell us a bit about what's changed in your life at this point in time?
Thanks so much, Doug. It's great to see you again, and greetings also to the people of Northern Indiana. So I served, as you know, for about 4 years as an area bishop in the Diocese of Toronto, and last year Jesus surprised me and asked me to go and serve as the rector of a wonderful church in Toronto called St. Paul's Burr Street. So that's where I'm now living out my Episcopal calling for the next season of my life in ministry.
And I know that your decision and discernment was both included some prayerful discernment and also an arrival with a sense of joy at this new possibility for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I also think it's connected to the theme of discipleship. Am I right about that?
It's absolutely, because it was a hard decision, and because it was a hard decision and unexpected, I think that means it was probably Jesus. He likes to do this.
Absolutely. And I know that you have a passion for bringing people into relationship with God and Christ, which is why I thought you'd be the best bishop that I know to talk about our conversation and the Lambeth call on discipleship. So where do you think, what's important about all of this for us as people who are part of the provinces in the Anglican community?
No, thank you. So I actually think this has been one of the most exciting days at Lambeth, right at the end, which is just such a joy, because usually it's like 4:00 in the afternoon when you're really tired at the end of a conference, but it's been, I think, one of the most exciting days, and I think for a couple of reasons. One, because I think discipleship, it's really simple. It's just helping other people learn how to follow Jesus. It's not a magical program, and that whenever you get involved in discipleship, it's always an adventure, in the best sense of a word, because an adventure, you don't actually know where you're going to end up, but because God's taking you there, it's going to be good. So I think the call to discipleship means in our local churches, we don't know exactly where we're going to end up, but it's going to be good. So that's, I think, the first thing why it's so exciting. I think the other reason I find it an exciting call is that the call to discipleship is asking bishops, priests, deacons, lay people to do something we've already experienced, because each of us is a disciple because somebody else helped us learn how to follow Jesus. So we're not being asked to do something we haven't actually participated in already. And just the simple ways that other people, maybe it was your parents or your grandparents or a friend at school, pointed you towards Jesus. Somebody did that. That's what we're being asked to do for other people. So, sometimes the calls at the Lambeth conference are noble and grandiose, and they can feel a little overwhelming, if I'm honest. But the call to discipleship is simply helping point someone else towards Jesus the way that somebody must have done it for you, Bishop Doug, and somebody, did it for me. So I really have appreciated that. And I think another reason I think it's an exciting day is that for those of us who are in leadership positions in the life of the church, especially in the West, if we focus on discipleship, of helping people learn how to follow Jesus, we will absolutely build the church, and the church will grow and flourish.
Yes.
But if we do it the other way around, and we just sort of focus on building the church, we won't necessarily get disciples. So if we focus on discipleship, we'll probably get everything else thrown in as well.
Yes.
Right? Like it's the whole shebang.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what I know about your story is, which has been sort of heartening for me, you grew up in a family that was committed to preaching the gospel and engaging in presenting Jesus Christ in such a way that others may come to know Him as Savior and follow Him as Lord. Am I right about that?
Yes.
And I think that the more we as church leaders can celebrate the sort of gratitude that we have for being brought into that saving relationship, tell the stories of our lives,
Yes.
tell the stories of other people's lives that we've come to walk alongside, that's going to create the opportunity for others to become alive again. And I don't know, I know you know,
Yes.
my deepest desire is that people can come alive again in Christ in the midst of all that we face and deal with. So thank you for this time. It has been a joy to be with you, even in the midst of all the other things that we struggle with and
Yes.
deal with.
Yes.
And thanks for just your vulnerability and your courage and your love for the Lord.
Oh, thanks so much, Bishop Doug, and it's wonderful to be in partnership with you across the great landmass that is North America. Northern Indiana and Toronto are not so far.
That's
so
right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Grace and peace be with you, friends.